Okay, and welcome back. I hope you guys are having a great week and really taking time to set up your business foundations. I want to promise you there's a reason that we are doing these tasks first, and I really encourage you to take the time to really dive into them because they're crucial. They are going to set you up for success, and if we don't do them now, you're going to have to come back and do them later. So let's get them done now. Today is primarily a catch-up day to make sure that, we've done all the homework. I know that some people are working full-time or, they're full-time parents right now. And so sometimes getting the work done in one night is not enough. So go ahead and take today to finish all your work. I did want to touch base on invoicing real quick. I know a lot of questions come from, well, how do I actually charge a client for the work I've done? So now that, last night, you should have looked at your income structure and decided what that minimum hourly rate is. And you should have decided what pricing structure you would like to be using within your business. Also, one note on that, it's flexible. It's your business. Let's say you start off at hourly and you all of a sudden are like, nope, retainer. Or you're doing a retainer and you're like, actually, I really like the flexibility of one-time projects. That's fine. The one thing with one-time projects is you are going to have to spend a lot more time talking to new clients and marketing yourself. Whereas with a retainer, you have some really great clients that's going to last a lot longer and you're going to be able to work on growing your business versus always trying to bring in new clients. So you have this pricing structure set up. Now, how do you charge your clients? And really, there's a lot of ways to do this. You are going to want to provide professional invoices. Now, one thing that I'll link this in the portal here, one thing I really like is called Get Harvest. And there's different versions of, apps like this. But what Get Harvest does is in the free version, you can track all your time for each of your clients. And I believe with the free version, I think you can only have 2 clients in there, but once you get to 3 clients, you wouldn't have, I think it's $15 a month. You'd be fine paying for it. But you clock all your time in there, and it helps you also understand as a business owner, where am I at? Like if I think I'm working 10 hours a week for this client, am I actually working 10 hours a week for this client? And then whenever your deadline is, whether you invoice every 2 weeks or monthly or what, I invoice all my clients monthly. It's just easier for me to manage. You go into your system and it creates the invoice for you. And you don't have to have it list out any kind of hours. So you don't have to have it show the client exactly how many hours you worked during that pay period. It can just say, I provided virtual assistant support from this date to this date, and here's the cost. Okay. So that way they don't know your back end, but you're still being able to track your business in that way. So you get Harvest, and then kind of play around with the invoice feature. You can add a logo in there if you'd like to add a logo. And it's automatically, you're going to put your client information in there, and it's automatically going to either send the invoice to a client, or you can edit the invoice every month and then send it. So I will actually do a tutorial on Get Harvest because I'm a huge fan of their system. So now that you've sent this invoice to a client, how are you getting paid? That's the big thing here. We need to get paid, right? There are business options on PayPal. Venmo now has a business option. You can set up Stripe. You can charge them through a lot of different platforms, like Dubsado has an option for that. So most clients are already going to have this set up with the way that they want to do it. Okay. So you can talk to them. They might be like, oh yeah, I use PayPal business, invoice me, I'll send it over. Just, as we get there, we'll make sure you get paid, but start researching some of those options and seeing, setting it up. So let's say you want to use PayPal business, make sure that your bank account is set up. You could also do direct deposits or checks. I do have a lot of clients who prefer direct deposit because it's cheaper. There's no, I think in most cases, there's no fees on either side, which is why I prefer it as well. I believe PayPal is like 3%, and most payment processing places are going to be 3%. I know that if you use QuickBooks, it's like a $4 per transaction, which is also another benefit. If you are paying any kind of one-time fees on these invoices, that's when you would want to maybe move to like the monthly, because you're only paying $4 a month versus $8 a month if you're able to manage that. So Catch up on all your homework this week, and then look at some of the different payment options. I'll do a tutorial on Get Harvest, and I'll link some of the resources below as well. So have a great weekend, and we're gonna jump into everything next week.